All right, today we're going to go over the importance of deep core, okay? And here's what we've just learned in our clinics for a lot of the patients that we've seen is there's just a lack of deep core. And we sit in a desk all day, or we sit in a chair that's very stable, so these stabilizing muscles really shut off. And, you know, or some of the females, moms that have had kiddos, their core never really rebounded. So core is such an important one, and it's one that we just really need to focus on, and we got to win, okay? So, Dr. Wayne, I'm gonna have you just stand sideways so the camera can catch this. Let yourself kind of go like bad core. So So bad core, this hip comes forward, and you got a lot of joint or back pain right here because all these facet joints are jammed up. So then what happens? Let's go ahead and get good core. So see what happens. Were you able to see that? Can you tell that on the camera? Okay. So that core really helps decrease that sacral line, which we've gone over in your X-rays, but it really helps open that up, open these joints up, and then allow these nerves to have plenty of freedom. So core is so important. Plus, when you guys bend over to pick up a paper clip and you can't stand back up, that's because these muscles were weak. One more thing. Lean forward just a little bit for me, Wayne. So pretend like you're like washing vegetables or dishes. We get this one a lot with patients is like, man, when I'm bent over my kitchen counter, I get terrible back pain right through here, okay? When you get that pain, when this becomes very achy, that is a telltale sign that your core is weak, all right? Because what's happening is these muscles are trying to turn on to hold all of this upright, and this core did nothing. So when you're in your appointments and we feel this on you and you're tight, core, okay? Thank you. So now we're going to go through like what is one of the best devices to start turning that core on and actually getting that brain to be able to fire that core, okay? It's not abs, it's not going to the boot camp and doing all that stuff. That is wrong, okay? That's too far progressed. A lot of times that can hurt you more than they can even help you. So what Dr. Kyle's going to do, we're going to take this biofeedback, okay? And he's going to go ahead and bend his legs for me. He's going to bridge up. I'm going to slide this pack right underneath the middle of his back and go back down. Does that feel about centered? Mm-hmm. Okay. Then what you guys are going to do with your biofeedback, can you catch this, Sarah? You're going to fill it up to that 40. See that? No? Okay, that's okay. But we want to get it right to that 40. And then what Dr. Kyle's going to do, he's going to bear down. He's going to push his belly button to the ground, okay? And what you're going to see is that arrow is going to go up. Perfect. And then see how that went up. He's pushing that core deep, and that arrow, you're nailing it, you're doing good. That arrow is coming up to the red. That's where we want it. Beautiful. Now, core is an endurance-based muscle. So we want to make sure that we have that there for 3 minutes. So at first, I know, everybody's like, oh no, it's hard. But at first, start with 30 seconds, and then just set a timer, set goals, and work your way up. Now, the other thing too is when you have a weak core at first, your diaphragm's going to want to do it. So you're going to find yourself becoming like a cherry, just bright red because you're holding your breath. So like with Dr. Kyle, yeah, laugh, talk, anything like that.
Here, I'll let you hold it. I want to get
to really, keep that up. And I always say, so the diaphragm plays in the core. So one thing that you can do, and do this in the privacy of your home, not necessarily now, but when he has it up like that, hum. There you go. Because what that'll do, I know it sounds crazy, but like that hum will actually help reset that diaphragm to pull that up. Because diaphragm, we're learning, is now playing in with low back pain. So that would be the core. Now, just for fun, go ahead and put your legs straight. Okay, Sarah, can you get this again? What happened to that needle? Can you see how it went down, right? And you're going to learn this at home when you guys are doing this, is that needle goes down because his hip flexors are pulling that pelvis forward. So that's why we gave you all those hip flexor stretches to help take some of this off of there. But this is what happens when you guys are standing, is you are constantly playing a tug of war between here and core. And according to a lot of your x-rays, the hip flexors are winning. Okay, so we're going to continue to stretch the hip flexors. That's why we challenge you with splits and things like that. But now we got to work on just getting that core strength. So the next phase, once that you can nail 3 minutes with the legs bent, you're going to put the hip flexors back in it. You'll fill it back up to your 40, and then you're going to go ahead and really bear down. And this is going to be challenging. Okay, you're right on it. That's perfect. A little bit more. Good. And he's breathing, he's relaxed, and that core is on. Okay, so as we get now this becoming easy, that's when you're standing, that sacral line on that film is where it needs to be. So this is the low back biofeedback. Should I do neck or should I do a second video there? Okay, so go ahead and bridge up. And you guys, this is why it's so important to make sure you do this before you go do a plank in the gym at boot camp. this has to happen first because a plank is the third progression to this. If you can't do this, you can't do a plank properly, okay? Next one. So just like core we have in the low back that everybody thinks of, like abs and core, you have core for your neck. And that's what becomes weak in everybody, gets mushy. And that's the text. Yep, there you go. Dr. Wayne's demonstrating that. So on a neck, this becomes way overdeveloped, and this becomes mushy. So it becomes weak, just like your abs would. So what we're gonna do is we gotta now start strengthening that up. Okay, so what you're gonna do with your stabilizer, you're gonna take it, you're gonna fold it. They've got little clips on them. Okay, see that? And now that it's folded, this goes underneath your neck. Back down. Okay, now, what you do when it's with the neck, you're gonna come on over, Sarah, is, go and shut it off first. Okay, you start on the red. Okay, so neck is red. And now what he's gonna do is very similar to that same motion he did with his pelvis. Go ahead and push down. Yep, okay, that plenty. Yep, a little bit more to the 40, you nailed it. So he's getting it to the 40 again. So you start on the red, you go to the 40 with neck. And you can feel it here. I'm gonna say at first, neck muscles are very finicky. Do not overdo this. You will be back in the clinic with headaches and things like that because as we start strengthening again, you're gonna lead to a little bit of tension. So make sure you do our stretches and things like that afterwards, moist heat, anything like that, but just really work on, he's bringing that neck back. He's gonna have a solid military neck, I like it, strong, and he's just going, you're plenty good. Yep, you're right to that 40. And like I said, don't overdo that, but eventually we need you doing that 2 to 3 minutes where you really work on strengthening that deep neck flexor. So this is the biofeedback. This thing is worth its weight in gold. Do it, follow it, and this is gonna be a consistent, probably close to a daily thing at first. Start in a little bit of tidbits and move and go longer. Anything I'm missing? Any other tips?
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect.
Feeling strong, Kyle?
Feel strong, Kyle?
I'm strong. Yes.